Hello, YouTubers. Well, what are we doing here today? Well, I really don't know. Just kidding. Anyway, in our last video, we did a tool unboxing, and in the unboxing, I showed a bender, a bar bender from Princess Auto that's on sale this week. It retails for about $120, and right now this week it's $45 off. So it's a pretty neat system. It's kind of compact. I can give you a closer look. It's intended to go in a vise, and you can put your solid handle on, and you can do your bends like so. But I don't like using the vise for bending metal, because I'll tell you why. My vise is not really located in a great place. It's kind of squat between a milling machine and a wall. So I have a number of pipe benders that range anywhere from $20,000 down to $200. Well, maybe even $100. And a lot of the smaller ones, I didn't want to bolt them to the floor because they all got a different bolt pattern. Plus, we have limited space here in the floor, so I didn't want anybody to trip up in them. So what I did is I made up an adapter. Good morning.
Good morning.
I made up an adapter, and I used this pedestal adapter for all my manual benders. And what I do is I bolt it to the motorcycle lift, my handy lift. And it's great because if I want to bend something and it's really long, I just simply wheel the bike lift out by the door or in the middle of the floor, and I can adjust the height because it's a bike lift, and I got the best of both worlds, and it's not in my way, and I can leave it there set up. I can also use the bike lift as a workbench. So it's a win-win all the way around. Now I'll just go get the pedestal, so excuse me for a minute. I'm going to be off camera for a second, but you'll still hear me. And here's the pedestal right here, and it's made of 3-inch. I don't remember what it is. It might be 1/4 inch, a 3-inch by 1/4 square stock. And the bolt pattern here is the same bolt pattern that's on the bike lift. And of course, up here is where I intend on mounting this. And of course, it will be able to unbolt and whatnot. So that's my little job for this morning. Now, there's a couple of considerations. It must be easy to put on, and it must be easy to take off. And with this particular tool, it came with an Allen key. So the locking mechanism that I'm going to have to lay this on should be the same size as that Allen key. In other words, one Allen key should take care of all the adjustments and even the removal of this particular tool. So what I did is I found a couple of Allen head bolts. You can see this is the OEM from Princess Auto on the tool, and it fits there good. That's the tool that came with it. And of course, these are just generic ones. They're standard measure, but I'm going to just weld the nuts on so that I can actually go ahead and use the same tool for every adjustment or application that needs to be used with this tool. So if I can get my lovely assistant out now shortly, we're going to do some video, shoot some video on how I intend to do it. Basically what I'm going to be using is, this is very simple to do, just in case anybody decides that they're going to buy one of these things and kind of use the same setup. And I'm just basically using scrap metal that I got here in the shop. There's a couple of pieces of 1 by 1/4 flat bar that I just found over there in the corner. And this here is a bit of, well, that looks like 1/4. Yeah, it's a bit of 1/4 by, I'm thinking 5 inch. Sorry, 6 inch. And So we're going to use that. I got to go, boys. Somebody's coming. Be back in a minute. Okay, so that's the worst part about trying to tape during working hours. But if I had to tape after hours, I'd never get it done either. So, but anyway, I'm going to take this scrap now. We're going to start making a few cuts and see how it all works out. So I'll see if I can get Kathy out now to walk around with the camera. I'm hooked up to the wireless system again, the Sennheiser, and I've been tweaking with the audio a bit. So I got the gains turned down. On the last video, I thought I had it good, but when I went in to do the editing, I had to split the audio from the video and reduce the audio by 50% because I didn't take into consideration that the Sony camera that I'm using here has got such a high output preamp. So it's got a bit of a learning curve, but I'm sure we'll get it all figured out. So let me see if I can go get Kathy. Okay, as things go, this is real simple. Yesterday when I was doing the audio check with the Sennheiser, I was getting a rattle. I said, what the hell is the rattle? And it turned out to be the hapses on the shop coat. So I had to take the shop coat off and put the hoodie on. Wow, so today what I had to do is I had to take the clip and put it on the haps like that so it could stop the rattle. I said, holy jeez, I got to fill the hapses with silicone or something, dampen the... Yeah, crazy, eh? It's just a matter of getting used to the product, right? And of course, folks, Kathy don't have her wireless on there now. So, believe me, guys, it's a blessing in disguise.
Did you say something?
No, I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm just really here. What, say like what? It's negative against you? Not possible. You know.
Negative? Never.
No. No, you never missed anything. Yeah.
What are we doing anyway?
Well, you're holding the camera.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing? You already shared.
Well, yeah, I'm here. You'll have to watch the video.
I guess I will.
You weren't here for the first part.
No, I wasn't.
So, if you snooze, you lose. Everybody else is going to know before you do now.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yeah, I'm going to have to tune in to watch.
What do you think of those apples?
I don't like them very well. I don't like those apples.
Yeah, you don't like those apples, eh? No. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to simply go over and we're going to cut it. We're doing this as simple as you can possibly do it, you know. Now, I will admit I cheat a little bit. We got to use the Edwards to do the cutting because I'm just too lazy. I'm not getting the plasma cutter out to cut this.
Well,
So,
that's not lazy. That's being smart.
well, exactly. And we got meetings in the city today. So, and after the meetings are done, I'm going to take you to a movie.
You are?
Hey? Yeah. The Fast and the Reckless, isn't it?
Yeah, could be.
Huh? Or The Fast and the Ferocious?
No, I think it's Fast and Furious.
Oh. I don't like using the word furious because that kind of reminds me when you're mad with me.
Oh, okay.
You don't get mad, you get furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference. It's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, but I notice there's a pattern. It's only when the PayPal statements come in.
I know. Did I tell you I burned a printer up?
Oh, yeah, is that
The
right?
other
I seen
day.
you going with the asbestos gloves.
So, oh gosh, will this ever end?
So, we can move that in a little bit more. We can move that in just a wee
Not
bit.
your way, am I?
Well, you are, but it's been like that for 30 odd years.
Yeah, why change now?
Yeah.
See, if I'm not mistaken, we had a bird's eye view in behind the bar as well.
Is that right, eh?
So,
I think you're mistaken. Now, we have to change the tooling. You got to change the tool, and no, I'm not leaving. Okay? I seen you smile when I said tool. Yeah, I said, she thinks I'm leaving. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, so. One thing about having the mic there, they'll get to hear the wrench clicking, and,
oh,
Yeah.
this is real time.
well, as live as you can get it. Well, you can actually go live now on YouTube, eh?
Okay.
Yep. You can have live podcasts. Remember we were mentioning one there a little while ago?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. We saw these hundreds and hundreds of subscribers coming in. I said, what the heck? Yeah. Woody's Gaming. Yeah, yeah, it's real nice of him. Really nice of him. Yeah. Yeah. And he's got 1,250,000 subscribers. Can you imagine? Wicked, eh? So now what we got to do is I got to go over here to the parts bin, or to the bolts bin, and I got to find out what bolt. Ooh, bigger one than that. I used to try to remember what bolt I use for these things, because that thing is eventually going to have to be bolted down. This is threaded, see? See, we have a number of different benders, as I was saying, you know, in the beginning of the video that where you weren't here. And I make this to fit on the bike ramp, so I can put my benders on there, and that way. So I'm going to use one pedestal to fit all the benders, right? You know. Yeah, they're dooflickies. Yeah. Yep, they're dooflickies. Now, kind of restricted here because I'm all wired up with stuffs. So we got to look for the right one here now. And I think I should. Yeah, so you might as well pause that and we'll find the right one, get it set up, and we'll come back. Of course, just as I told you to pause it, I found the right one. You know. So the little die goes in like that. Wait. You torque it in, and it's a grunt and a half. It's a grunt and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the proper torque. Grunt and a half. Yeah.
Are all grunts equal?
No, well, they are if it's a full grunt. Yeah. Yeah. Now that's a metric grunt, right?
I was wondering, is everybody's grunt the same?
Well, no, there's metric and standard grunts. Yeah.
That was a metric grunt?
That was a metric grunt. Okay. So, I'll put this down here. Like so. Got a little bit of a gap there, which is good. Yeah, some iron workers have a quick change attachment where this is done much faster. You take it out and you put it in as a full unit. And I think maybe Edwards might have that kind of a thing now as an option. They might have had it as an option when we bought this, but you know how it is when you're buying anything these days, everything's plus, 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 right? So, you know. Now, we shall go punching holes. So, isn't that much better than drilling? Two people here yesterday, watching me at this.
Great spectators.
Oh, they love it, eh? So,
There we got 4 holes each.
should have probably went a bit bigger because it's not giving me much wiggle room, but we'll see. We got to get the, here, I'll put that down here so I can eye it. Well, really it don't much matter because I've got to be able to, I really only need two bolts in it.
Okay.
You know, why would you need the bolt? Why would you need so many in one area, eh? So let's see, we'll go with some shorter ones. Yeah, see? Two will do, right? You know. But I'm going to tell you now, I wasn't too much off. Yeah. See? But now the thread is probably arsed up there in that machine. You know what it's like when you're arsed up?
I know.
All right?
Well, I guess I wouldn't. You would.
Oh yeah, I'm always arsed up. Yeah. Yeah, let me see if I can drive that down through there and just see. Yeah. Yeah, I'll persuade it now. It's either come or bust now. I hope we can get this done before too many people come in tormenting. Okay, that's not going to work. I have to run a tap through it or something. That's been lying around for a long time. So what? Well, what I should do is just take it off and run a tap down through it just to make sure. And of course, I'm using a metric socket on a standard bolt, and that's not really helping. Hey, bye.
All going against you.
Yeah, it's all going against me. Man, why don't you put that camera down my throat?
Stop complaining.
Okay, so that's going there. So what I need to do is I'm going to just take my little pin grinder. And I'm just going to make these a little bit bigger. Okay. And I had this lent to a buddy of mine who was doing a job. Actually, that generator job that we did last week, they're bolting it down to the floor. So what I have had to do is I had to take a 5/8 drill bit, and I had to make an extension shank for it yesterday evening on the lathe. I had to MIG it onto the drill bit. Then I had to turn down the edge of the end of the shank to fit a 1/2-inch drill so they could drill down through the chassis of the generator. And I said, well, it was a brand new drill bit, so I said, well, take some cutting fluid. So I lent him the cutting fluid, and that's who just brought it back. So you know how it is.
You know something, that wireless that you got on top of the camera here,
Yeah.
what would he be, a transmitter?
Yeah.
He's probably not a lot of weight, but I can notice it.
Oh yeah. One thing about you, not one to complain. Yeah. Well, just imagine now with yours on. We'll say there's 2 AA batteries in it. The thing is all metal except for the door.
Yeah.
There's a.
I'm wondering, I said, why is my arm getting tired? I never had that happen before.
Yeah. Now you're going to hear a noise. It only needs just a little bit. So see how you can tell the sound is going through. You'll see meter on the edge there. You'll see it going together. Yeah. And that's how you know. That's how you know it's percolating.
It's percolating.
Yeah.
You can see the difference there when you stop or slow down. Yeah.
Oh, the meter.
Yeah, the meter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I gotta get the right pattern here. I should have went a little bit bigger. And maybe they'll line up better one way or the other. You know what I mean, Vern? So I'm gonna go just drill them a bit bigger and make it a lot easier. So you can pause it for now and we'll drill them out. Once they're punched, they're very easy to drill. So, you're in my way.
I don't want to back up too quickly.
Why?
You're zooming.
No, you don't need to zoom. Now, there's a reason for this. Okay.
Is there a method to the madness?
Well, there is. There always is. But it's just that this one here is always giving me a little bit of trouble. See? All right? So it might not be the holes at all. You know what I mean, Vern?
You keep calling me Bird.
Vern, yeah. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Used to do the commercials?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Just a second. Now I gotta get another one of these long ones. Or these short ones. Yeah. So, we know that that's the way that got to go. So what I have to do, I have to make sure when that goes on, that's on the right orientation. So it's going to point here, and I'm going to put a mark here. So that way I'll know when it bolts on. Yeah, maybe what I should do is to simplify this, because when it goes to go back together, I can just use that as a reference to a little mark. So when I do go to use it, I'll just say, oh yeah, there's the punch mark, so that's the way they got to mate. All right? Yeah. Like I say, this is just ridiculously simple to do, but it is what it is. Hey?
Yeah, it is.
Now,
Yeah, that's done.
we'll continue on with this. Now we have to make some kind of an adapter for that to bolt onto.
How are we going to do that?
Well, we're not quite sure yet. So basically what we're going to do, we're just going to build a little wall around here, like that. So we'll just see now how this works out. So I'm going to take this over now to the little break that I made 4 or 5 years ago. When we were doing the forklift, I made these two, this big one and this one, were built just for the forklift. When we were doing the aluminum bending and stuff. But I mean, they've been used.
For a lot of things that's...
Yeah. You want to come over and get them close. So, this don't have to be too scientific. Hey, I got to be able to get... Now, you got to come a bit more. Yeah, that'd be close enough. So,
Close enough?
we'll go back over to this. So you see how it's going to look?
Oh, yeah, cool.
All right. So I want a little bit of wiggle room. I don't want to have it too tight. You know? So we're going to, I'd like to have actually a bit loose if I could. And yeah, right along there will do. So,
Another bend?
yep, another bend. Yep. So that's how it's going to, hopefully that's how it's going to proceed. This is an electric over hydraulic fit out that we bought at an auction. Oh,
I know.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey? And it was used for testing welds. But I made the frame, but it did come with a frame. It was a different setup. And I was there and I bid on it, and my brother was with me and he said, well, how high are you gonna go? And I said, I'm going to go to $2,000 for this system with the RAM. And anyway, we ended up getting it for, I wonder, was it 800?
I was going to say 7, but it was under 1,000.
Yeah.
So 7 to 8. I guess.
So when we got back, we called the selling dealer and we asked him how much it was worth, and it was worth $4,800 or something. Yeah.
$5,000 for sure.
Yeah. So there you go. We got our little bit of wiggle room.
Yep.
You know, you don't want it too tight, right? So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to cut that as close to there as I can. It's only just to hold it in place while while I'm using it. And these little things, these are really convenient items, right? Now I don't know how I'm going to get this. Maybe I can't cut this with the iron worker. I don't know. We shall see. Yeah, I can. You do what you got to do. Now, let's see. So this is what we're going to have here. It's going to look like that. Look. See?
Yeah.
So.
Now you got to wilt it?
No, not yet. No, not yet. But I'm going to, yeah. So I got to punch a hole in this now. Yeah. That's it. I gotta let my thing up a bit. I gotta let the thing up and get it's jammed in a bit. So the reason why I'm drilling the holes here is because there's going to be a jam nut here, jam bolt here, and a jam bolt over here. It's not going to be too serious. So punch it again. Like I say, not serious. You can't keep up, eh?
No, I'm trying not to spin too fast because the camera tries to adjust.
Yeah, I know. You're a grumbler.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, yeah, you're a grumbler. So, we'll just cut this off now. And see what happens. Hey, bye. We shall cut. Well, it's working. Well, as a buddy says, we're winning.
Yeah, winning.
So I'm just going to take a little smidgen off of this end just to get it a little bit tighter together. Yeah. And once I reduce that down a bit, then I can move on to the next stage. You know what I mean? Yeah. Going to be awful noisy for anybody. Yeah. there. And that will go. I still got some to take off. Huh? I want to get her tight. I could do it this, yeah, I'll probably do it that way. That'll work too.
Yeah, that does look good.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Yeah.
So.
You got a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah. That will work. So, he says, we shall see. So it's on the inside there and the outside there. Okay, so I'm going to just bevel the edges, and then we'll come back and we'll show you welding it. Okay, so now I want to maintain my wiggle room in here, right? Because you don't want to be fighting with this thing when you're needing it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to refer to this as an ear gap. So I'm going to use some washers. And I'm going to put them down here. And that's going to keep my gap where I need it.
Keep it in place till you weld it?
Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See, and I got to just bevel a little bit right there in the end so I can get some welting in it.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll clamp that on, and yeah, so there it is, right? So I'm going to set up the welder, then I'm going to weld that, and we'll try it out. Miller-Matic 252. We're going to weld it. Miller Digital Elite helmet, digital. So we're going to digitize it.
It'll be digitized.
Yeah. So I'm going to weld that there now, and we're going to see what that looks like. So if anybody's home there watching now, you might want to put on your welding mask. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. People would be home now watching this and be squinting and everything, eh? Yeah. Now you watch your eyes, eh? Okay, so if you want to show them that weld, you can come over and show them the weld. It's not a very serious type of weld, but it's a weld. See? It's good enough for its application. Okay.
Other side?
Yeah, now you watch your eyes, okay? I worry about you with your eyes. Okay. Oh, there he is there. Like I say, this is not a very serious type of thing. Now is this. We got to get that out of there. Say goodbye to those washers now shortly. See? See? And that's our wiggle room. See? And that's cool. So I'm going to go over to the grinder. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to make this aesthetically look a little bit better. So now we have that straightened away. Now what we're going to do is we're going to weld these nuts onto there so that when we put this down in place, we'll be able to screw this in tight and it will keep everything in place. So that's my next job. Yeah, nah, you can pause that and we'll show them the results. Nothing to it. Up to it, only do it. Now we got to weld this to that. So I'm going to go off center a little bit. So I'll be back in a minute and we'll weld that. Hot. And that is too. Yep. That'll be good enough, because all that got to do is just hold itself in place. So it's kind of going to go, you know. All right. And then you'll go in and tighten it up. Yeah. So I'm going to put that in the bead blaster, and I'm going to take the mill scale out of it. Okay, instead of using the Allen key, I'm going to use this 5/16 hand wrench. It looks better and it works better. But you know what happens, eh? If you don't have this attached to the machine, you're never going to find it when you're looking for it. So my next goal is to find some way I'm out, and I could put a loop there, like you suggested. But I want to do it the fast way. So the fast way, well, I'll tell you what, I'll come back down a second and I'll show you. So I've come up with a very simple solution. Yeah, well, I mean, don't have to be, it's not going in the Smithsonian or anything. So, you know, you can make this stuff complicated or you can make it non-complicated. This is going to be very non-complicated. Yeah. Yep. Watch your eyes. Cool. So basically, we let that cool, as in cool, and then we'll see how my simple little idea worked. Okay, very simple. And there's how that's going to look. Like that.
That's easy peasy.
You know, it's always going to be there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nothing to it. Nothing. No. Well, I'm going to look for some washers if I can find the right size ones. So remember my little indentation. So we know that's the orientation of the way it got to go. So it will go like that. It will go like that. Like that.
You're going to do a few things, though. Do you want to make it on a stand?
Yeah, well, I had the stand made, like I say, for the other handheld or the manual operated.
It's better to have different adapters because then you can use it for different
Yeah.
fingers.
Seems like there's always one that I'm having trouble with, isn't it?
Yeah,
There he is. There you go. So then you take,
it's starting to look like something else.
yeah. You take your machine and you put your machine like so. That goes on it like that. You take that and you tighten in your jam nut. Same thing on this side. See? And then, of course, now when that's bolted onto the bike ramp, you know, you screw this on. Like so. And there it is. Right? So you move this over to where you need to bend, and then you come on with it, right? Yeah. It's pretty. Would it be a round bend? You can bend round or flat with it. Yeah. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll work perfect. Like you can put your metal in here, just say. You can do a number of different bends with it, right? Let's see. See, and then you can come on that way with it, all right? Maybe I'll just get a little piece and just show you. Yeah, so you just take it and this is just a very fast example of one of the things that you can do with this, right? And of course, I don't even have it bolted down. So, you know, I don't know how this is going to work. There's a bit of quarter aluminum, and this is how you use the square stock, right? Or not square stock, the flat bar, right? So, see, I got nowhere to. See? Yeah, maybe I'll throw it up there and just attach it. Okay, so usually this is in a, you know, different location. It's moved over here for one thing. But anyway, you can, I got it just hand tight in there. So, see? But of course now with aluminum, I didn't preheat, right? But that's how it'll bend. I never had any steel. I used all my flat bar, steel flat bar. So, but anyway, it can do a multitude of bends, and it can also do round stock up to 3/8. So, yeah, well, what I'm going to do is one of those days now when I get time, I'm just going to do a video on this bender and show the different bends that it can do. Because right now we're kind of pressed for time. We got to get going. But yeah, so yeah, but you know, aluminum's aluminum, eh? So yeah, there it is, and of course now later on that'll be primed and painted, and you know, and yeah, so I think it'll be a nice addition. Somebody asked me, do I need it for a job? And, well, you know who I am.
Yeah, that's right.
You know. Well, how many times have I bought a tool and it stayed there for a year, and then it saved a day? You know, how many? We're all guilty of buying tools we don't need at the moment, right? So.
You can see possibly using them later, so it's a good idea.
Well, you know, lots of times we'll end up building parts for cages and stuff that requires round stock, solid round stock. Well, it's much easier to do the bends. Now, I have other equipment here, as you know, that we can use to bend it, but this is really fast. You know, and some, you know, there's custom applications that we use too as well. But I mean, what's the price of it now? It's 120 with 45 off, isn't it? So I mean, you know, it's a cheap tool, as tools go. So you know, rather than just have it stuck over there by the vise, well, now it's more useful to me, right? And the other thing is too, since I have the all-terrain, the Wilton all-terrain vise now for the welding trailer, this can go with it too, right? Because this is made to go in a vise. So if I ever had to bend any round stock or flat bar on the job, I can take this with me as well, right? So yeah, so that's it, folks. Simple little video. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a nice day. We're taking off right now, and we're going to go see the Fast and the Ruthless, is it?
You should remember Furious.
Furious. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, but I affiliate Furious, or associate Furious with you. No, not really.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, so we're going to, and plus we got that meeting. Anyway, we'll get that done. And have a nice day, guys. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other, and God bless.